And the Oscar goes to...
The Oscar goes to
And here are the nominees for the Best Picture.
For Beauty and the Beast.
Beauty and the Beast.
Beauty and the Beast.
When Beauty and the Beast premiered in 1991, it became an instant commercial and critical success. It grossed nearly $425 million, won 2 Oscars, and became the first ever animated film to be nominated for Best Picture at the Academy Awards. Now, nearly 3 decades later, it's still one of the most beloved Disney films, which begs the question, what is so special about the romance in Beauty and the Beast, and how does it compare to previous Disney love stories in a way that makes it stand out? Unlike previous Disney fairy tales where the princess meets some guy
It's just that you're
A stranger?
and immediately falls in love with him, Belle initially wants nothing to do with a relationship, instead choosing to take care of her father and help him with his inventions. In fact, when she's proposed to by the most desired man in town, she actively rejects him. In another movie, Gaston would have been her Prince Charming, and the two would have fallen in love and lived happily ever after. But instead, he's the villain. This also sets Beauty and the Beast apart from previous films, because instead of a villain with terrifying power who's out to destroy the princess, he's just a guy that won't take no for an answer. Meanwhile, her love interest is shown not as the perfect guy, but as deeply flawed, and in fact, he carries the main character arc of the story. The Beast is unrefined, and he has a terrible temper. His own selfishness was the cause of his transformation, and throughout the movie, he must learn to care for and appreciate others. Belle and the Beast are both extremely stubborn, and they clash frequently because of this, but over time, the Beast begins to genuinely care about her, while Belle starts to see a deeper and more vulnerable part of him. Their romance doesn't start off with immediate attraction, but instead depicts slow growth to reach a committed and loving relationship. In The Little Mermaid, Ariel falls in love with a guy that she's never talked to and has only seen from afar. Aurora and Prince Philip dance once and decide that they should get married. And Snow White sees a guy off her balcony and decides that he's the one. Sure, Belle and the Beast don't fall in love at first sight like a typical fairy tale, but their tale became so popular because the story of 2 flawed people who argue but still love each other is relatable to modern audiences. Beauty and the Beast also differs in that Belle has 2 possible love interests, and each guy represents something different to her. Gaston represents an unfulfilled life stuck as a housewife, taking care of Gaston and their children, and she wants more from her life than this.
I want adventure in the great wide somewhere.
However, life with the Beast is her adventure, as she explores the castle and gets to know the beings within it. She finally feels like she's doing more with her life, and she doesn't just want to do it all alone.
And for once it might be grand to have someone understand.
Belle just wants to be with and share the adventure with someone who she has a genuine connection with. Gaston and the Beast are each other's foil in that they initially are both selfish and arrogant, but while Gaston remains in his self-centered world and expects Belle to conform to it, the Beast respects her and values her happiness over his own, even sacrificing his freedom and letting her go because he loves her. By showing the difference between the two and Belle's choice, Beauty and the Beast stands out from previous movies. Its love story, featuring imperfect characters in a complex relationship, is more relatable to viewers than one about falling in love at first sight with a guy you met while dancing in the woods. The relatable plotline, on top of an award-winning score and state-of-the-art animation, set Beauty and the Beast apart from previous Disney films and led to its continued success.